That day I went to the Met to see the new Sargent in Paris exhibit. I thought I'd spend the day in the museum, see some art, sketch, find some inspiration. But the moment I saw the first Sargent painting, something in me cracked open. I've seen his work so many times before online. I've studied it, admired it, tried to learn from it. But standing there in front of it for the first time, seeing how alive the paint was, how confident every line felt, how every brushstroke looked effortless but impossible at the same time, it hit me like a wave. I was in disbelief. How was a human hand capable of painting like this? How was he able to make his paintings feel so alive? Like you can almost feel them breathe. I just stood there, ugly crying at the Met. And the longer I stood there, the more I understood that what I was looking at wasn't just talent. It cannot be. It's not luck or genius, it's something deeper. Something built slowly, day after day, until it becomes second nature. It's a lifetime poured into art until it starts to breathe on its own. That's what I was seeing. And I think that's what moved me the most. Seeing what's possible when you give yourself completely to what you love. I couldn't stop thinking about it, about what it takes to paint like that. So the next few mornings, I found myself going to little coffee shops and spending hours studying Sargent's drawings. And the whole time I kept having that question running circles in my mind. What does it take to create something like that? Is it discipline? I mean, I know discipline. I grew up as an athlete. I know what it means to push yourself, even when you don't feel like it. And I know it works. Discipline gets you results. But for some reason, the word discipline has always bothered me. It's always felt a little too sharp. My dad and I actually have this inside joke about it. Because when I was a kid, I came home furious one day because one of my teachers kept saying, "You children need to be more disciplined." And I remember telling my dad how much I disliked that teacher, mostly because she kept saying that word. But now that I'm older, I think I know why. I looked up the definition of discipline once. The practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behavior, with punishment for those who fail to comply. Okay, and you're telling me that that's what's supposed to get us to follow our dreams? Obedience and punishment? No wonder this word feels so heavy. I think that's part of why I struggle to show up for my art sometimes, because when I frame it like discipline or lack of discipline, it instantly becomes guilt. Something I should be doing, instead of something I get to do. And that's not how I want my art to feel. I want to wake up and think, I'd love to make something today. Even if it's just for 15 minutes. Maybe one day I have an hour. Maybe another day it's just a quick sketch before work. But even if it's 5 minutes, it feels like a choice. It's my way of saying I'm here. I couldn't help but wonder, if discipline is not what keeps me coming back to my dreams, then what is it? I thought about a few words that could work here, but none of them felt right. And then I stumbled upon it. Devotion. Love, loyalty, or enthusiasm for a person or activity. Now that's it. That's what I saw in Sargent's work. And that's what's been missing from mine. Not pressure, guilt, or punishment, but devotion. Showing up for my art because I love it too much not to. And now that I've realized this, I can't stop thinking about it. I want to bring that kind of devotion into my own life. I want to show up for my art the way Sargent showed up for his. So 2 days later, I went back to the Met, mostly because I couldn't stop thinking about his paintings, how alive they felt and how lucky I was to see all of them together like that. It felt like a privilege I didn't want to waste. But also because the first time I went, I really wanted to draw, but I was crying so much I couldn't even see straight. So this time I packed my sketchbook again and I went back ready. As soon as I stepped into the Sargent exhibit, I felt it again, that pull in my chest. I found one of the drawings I've been studying at a cafe the day before, and I stood right in front of it, opened my sketchbook and kept working on that drawing, but this time face to face with the real thing. And I don't know, I just felt so proud of myself for being there, for doing the thing I said I wanted to do. I think I want more days like this in my life, where I get to experience what my dream life actually feels like. Waking up in an amazing city with my sketchbook and a whole day free to follow my curiosity. And sure, it's easy to romanticize that. I mean, I was in New York, I was on vacation with no deadlines or responsibilities. But still, I think I can pull more of this feeling into my everyday life. I don't need to wait for the perfect moment. I just want to be devoted enough to make space for myself. Because this joy I feel, this spark, it doesn't live in New York. It lives inside of me. In a world that moves so fast, that keeps pulling me back into screens and noise, it felt so good to slow down. To just sit in that museum and draw. To listen to that quiet, steady voice inside of me, the one that's always been there, whispering what I already know but keep forgetting. Make art. Slow down. You're happiest when you do. I think everyone has a voice like that, the one that calls you back into the things you love. Mine just happens to speak through art. It's almost like a warmth inside of me, like this little fire that reminds me what I love and who I am. Sometimes I wonder if that fire is my soul or my joy or my purpose. I don't really know what to call it. I just know it's what makes me feel alive. And when I'm drawing or learning about art or simply slowing down and paying attention to the world around me, I can feel that fire burning stronger. Like I'm giving something essential back to myself. But when I get distracted, when I feel every quiet moment with noise, I can feel it dim. Now, the only way to keep that fire inside my soul alive is to feed it. And in my case, I can feed it with one sketch, maybe one study, or one honest moment of choosing joy over distraction. These are my twigs. Small maybe, but enough to keep the flame going. The pursuit of our dreams doesn't have to come from pressure, or guilt, or fear that we're constantly behind. For so long, I thought my dreams needed to be chased. Like I had to keep running after them to prove I deserved them. But maybe my dreams don't want to be chased. Maybe they just want to be tended to. Like a fire. Like devotion. When I show up for myself from this place of kindness, I don't feel forced or disciplined. I don't feel behind anymore. I just feel connected. To myself, to my art. To that quiet voice that tells me that this matters. And maybe that's the whole point. To build a life where the effort we put in feels more like love and not punishment. Where showing up for ourselves feels less like proving our worth and more like honoring it. Where we can let ourselves take up space without earning it first. I used to think I needed more time or more discipline to make the life I wanted. But maybe I just need more devotion. More moments like this one, where I slow down enough to feel that fire inside my soul burn again. Because this feeling, this joy, this warmth in my chest, it's a reminder that I'm already living parts of my dream life, and that all that's left for me to do is to keep feeding that fire.